Nice weather, but really quiet today. I guess every kid is preparing to go back to school and all. I guess with that in mind, what's going on today? I was reading this where apparently at first I thought this was a FLIR camera for drones, but apparently I guess they're making their own drones now too. This one says Teledyne FLIR debuts SIRAS drone for public safety and industrial inspection. I would have thought they would have been comfortable just supplying every manufacturer with their thermal cameras because they are pretty huge and they're a leader where most people use their products actually. It says here, Teledyne FLIR, part of Teledyne Technologies Incorporated, today launched SIRAS, a professional drone that includes a quick connect dual radiometric thermal and visible camera payload engineered for data security, performance, and affordability. SIRAS is optimized for industrial and utility inspection, public safety, firefighting, and search and rescue missions. So definitely not targeting a recreational person, for example. And I guess they're trying to advertise their drone being different with some interesting stuff actually. They actually mention it's not geofence and all that. It says here, designed to provide pilots with flexibility to get the job done, SIRAS delivers a geofence-free flight experience with thermal and visible imaging capabilities at $9,695 US, said Mike Walters, Vice President Product Management. According to this, for the camera itself, it has a 16 megapixel visible camera, can zoom 128 times to pinpoint details, and it says the integrated 640 by 512 pixel radiometric boson provides best-in-class thermal imagery. So the battery was kind of interesting. It sounded like it had a built-in battery as well as it was hot swappable. So you could, according to this anyways, have like a 90-minute battery. I don't know if that means actual flight. I highly doubt it. I guess that means more like turning it on. So that's kind of interesting in that sense in terms of powering the drone, because that's always an issue, I guess, when you're flying, especially commercial-oriented drones like these. So would you consider that cheap? $9,695 US for an enterprise drone with all the thermal capabilities? Again, I'm just kind of surprised they actually made their own drone now. And at the same time, will people actually consider this over, I guess, more established companies? Although one interesting thing is, I guess with that thought, DJI still has that ban where they apparently can't use US tech for things like thermal cameras and stuff like that. So I wonder if that was part of the reason why they said, okay, let's just do our own. At the same time, it's just funny, again, they're basically saying, hey, there's no geofence. It seems like DJI is the only company that's really pushing stuff like that. A lot of other companies, they say, we're not doing it unless they're forced to. That's from what I gather anyway. So will they actually change in that aspect? I did read an article before too, how apparently because of things like all those, I guess, government restrictions, DJI lost a lot of their commercial shares. Maybe that'll force them to expand more aggressively into other marketplaces, for example, regular cameras and all that. To my knowledge, they are actually trying to release more products like that to compete with companies like GoPro and so forth. But when you actually get this drone here, if you were in the market for an enterprise drone, now those types of drones are meant more for things such as search and rescue or finding, for example, suspects on the run. It made me think, how about this story here in Canada? Apparently it's a huge manhunt for these guys who have been going around and stabbing people. This one says what? Suspects in Saskatchewan stabbings possibly cited on James Smith Cree. As it says here, police in Saskatchewan said authorities received a report of a possible sighting of Miles Sanderson, the remaining suspect in a series of stabbing attacks on the James Smith Cree Nation over the weekend. Investigators have received reports of a possible sighting of suspect Miles Sanderson in James Smith Cree Nation, RCMP said in an update to a dangerous persons alert first issued on Sunday. RCMP said officers are responding and instructed residents to seek shelter or shelter in place. That's how bad it is. So are people getting like those phone warnings there? And in this case, they're telling you, for example, stay home. And a little bit of details in terms of what they did. It says the intensive search for Damian Sanderson, 31, and Miles Sanderson, 30, began early Sunday morning following multiple reports of stabbings on James Smith Cree Nation, about 200 kilometers northeast of Saskatoon. The attacks left 10 dead and 19 injured. And another bad thing about this is, according to like these reports here, it says what? Parole records reveal Saskatchewan suspects' violent history. So was it one of those situations where these people were constantly caught, went through the system, but eventually you're just like, oh, go outside again. So it's kind of unfortunate in that case where you could do all the work to apprehend people, but if they just get out that easily, then what's the point? There's no rehabilitation or anything like that. They'll just repeat. That would be my assumption anyways, according to these articles. But yeah, kind of crazy. That squirrel's not making that noise for no reason. Alright, see you guys later.